Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So I have built another gun with the core system. So I've unlocked the core on Fallen Hope and I've tried to build this gun in order to make it more usable. The Fallen Hope has several issues. So I wanted to discuss that and I have made two builds for the gun. In fact, I got a second copy of the gun from Authorised. I made one set with non-crit and one with crit, and I changed the rolls on the gun, the cores on the gun, completely different mod pages, and I have two completely different builds of the gun with all these things, and you can then decide which is better for you. So these are the base weapon specs for the gun. The power isn't bad on the gun by default. They have now added a fixed attribute toxic on the Fallen Hope. A lot of the guns got some attributes. Fallen Hope got toxic, which makes sense because the unique ability also does poison. Fire rate is 600. Now the base stat on the rounds per magazine was pretty bad. It was 35. As you can see, I have improved it quite a bit. Actually, you can get even higher. Reload was fine. Crit rate wasn't good, 12%. This was the main issue. Crit damage isn't terrible, but still not good. And the rest of it is also not good. The unique ability actually affects the hip fire accuracy and the aim shot accuracy. The unique ability, you can see here, reduces that. And then the unique ability itself, which is a poison explosion, isn't great. It only has a 40% trigger rate, radius is 6 meters, and so on. So this hasn't been changed. What we are trying to fix is just the power of the gun, add more ammo, improve the handling and things like that. Okay, so I've got two copies here. As you can see, both of them have their cores unlocked. I have spent a lot of time farming the cores for these two, but I was curious. I wanted to test the Enduring Legacy, but I thought let's have a look at this and see if this is viable now. All right, so first up, let's have a look at the non-crit build. So with the non-crit build over here on the weapon options, I think they are called the roles here. I went with toxic attack, hip fire accuracy, rounds per magazine, firearm attack. The hip fire accuracy, you can pick something else. Anything else would be fine as well. Because if you're not building with crit, we don't really have that many options. Now, as far as the cores are concerned, we actually have good options for the cores. We don't have some useless stats like bonus against one of the legions or things like that. So we can actually put a lot of power into this gun. So we get one firearm augmentation, one attribute, one tactical augmentation, one precision, and then one free slot. So in the free slot, I put firearm attack. I have core 6 and I got 23%. In the firearm, I also added more firearm attack. In the attribute, I leaned into the toxic because we just have a lot of toxic on the gun now. Tactical augmentation, I went with rounds per magazine just to increase the ammo. And then over here, I went with sprint speed. Honestly, any of these can be used. They're all useful on this gun. Recoil isn't the best. Hip fire accuracy, aim shot isn't good. A weapon change, if you are switching between guns, this would be handy. Sprint speed, grapple, these are always useful. So you can go with any of these, but this is basically what I went with over here. Now let's see the mod page here, the non-crit. Okay, so this is very similar to what I had previously with one or two changes. So rifling reinforcement, action reaction, charge amplification, these three will give you a lot of firearm attack. Because we are not building with crit, we have gone with this one because we don't need the crit, so we can reduce the crit and take more firearm attack. Then I went with two mods for ammo. So we went with weapon tuning. This gives us 1% firearm attack because once again we are not building for crit rate or crit damage. So I went with this one. So these two for ammo. Then we have toxic enhancement to get more damage. Then poison priority. This will give 50% of this. Again, more toxic. Then we have one mod to reload because this priority increases the reload. So we get this here to balance this. Fire rate and then sharp precision shot. Now previously I was not using sharp precision shot because it did not have enough ammo. Now we are getting almost 90 bullets here. So now it's a different gun altogether and we can take advantage of the sharp precision shot just to give it a nice balance and fast fire rate, and it'll just be good because it has so much ammo. So now if we look at the page here, this is the result. Look at this. 41,000 firearm attack and then 41, almost 42,000 toxic. Of course, we are not working with crit, but even without crit, the white number will also be this high. So in other words, you're doing 41 here and toxic attack will be almost 42, 83,000 per bullet, and you have 88 bullets in the gun. So now this is insane. And yeah, I've tried it in the lab and I tried it in one of the missions and yeah, that's surprisingly good. So this is my preferred build for the gun. Now, because I was curious, I wanted to see if we can fix the crit rate on the gun. I got another copy, got another core, unlocked it, put different rolls on it. And so this one here, the rolls I went was with the standard stuff, firearm attack, critical hit damage, critical hit rate, and I went with toxic attack. As for the cores, I wanted to again take advantage of the crit rate and stuff. So what I did here was initially I had put firearm critical hit rate. However, after the build was complete and I tested it, it wasn't increasing the crit rate by that much. So I went with two firearm attacks here, toxic, rounds per magazine, sprint. So exactly the same as the other one. And I'll show you the result with this setup here. So over here you can see we are getting 13.8 with a 15% roll on the gun. When I had 24% from the core, this was going up to 16 point something. So it wasn't going up that much. The crit damage actually goes up quite a bit. So let me also show you the build for this crit setup. So with this crit setup, what I've done is firearm attack, action and reaction, then we get crit insight, better insight, concentration, better concentration, and then all the crit related stuff I could squeeze. So insight support ammo, insight focus, reload insight. So we're still going for two mods for ammo and one for reload. One is this is just to add more crit rate and crit damage, and then this reload is also giving you 3% crit rate, and then one for toxic obviously. So this is the build for the crit one, and the DPS number looks pretty good, but the other one is still better. So if we look at the result here, we have 32,700 firearm attack, toxic is 28,000, fire rate is 600, and then look at the crit rate. Now the crit rate is almost 21%, which is not terrible. 1 in 5 will crit, but the crit damage is almost 6 times. So this will result in some huge numbers every now and then, but obviously the crit rate isn't high. And even when I put the crit rate on the core, I was still only getting 23% over here. So I decided to just lean into the damage just a bit more. So this will be also good. Don't get me wrong. You have 81 bullets here as well. But the non-crit build is just better overall, like quality of life wise. It has more ammo, better reload, it has fire rate, it has sharp precision shot, and just base power is just much higher. So this would be my recommendation if you are making the core build for weapon core build, let's say for the Fallen Hope. Again, number isn't that high, but power is much better here. You can see clear 83,000 per bullet with 88 bullets. If you put the Slayer set on, this goes up to 91, I think. But of course, we are not getting much here, but this alone is going to help you greatly. You'll also do a lot of toxic damage. So even though your unique ability isn't the best, you'll still do a lot of damage and benefit from the toxic stuff. So that is my build for the Fallen Hope. So here's the look at the cores. Basically, the thing I wanted to mostly talk about is the cores and the rolls here. So firearm attack, 2 firearm attacks, 1 toxic, 1 rounds per magazine, 1 sprint. And in the 6th February update, we'll get higher level cores. So it'll go up to 10, the core levels. So I'm sure the firearm attack might go up higher, maybe like 40%, because core 7 takes it up to 34%. The core 10 might take it up to 40, maybe even more, who knows. Obviously, I'm not expecting it to go much higher, but still 35 to 40 is expected. So this can become very powerful per hit. And of course, we will need more power in the levels that have electric enemies and things like that, where the stages of the void erosion will go up beyond level 20. So the enemies will be tanky. We will need to do a lot more power. And the way the game is set up right now, we have some enemies that are weak to toxic, some that are weak to electric, some that are weak to chill. So we need guns that cover these base 3 elements properly, and Descendants to do that as well. But yeah, that is the build for Fallen Hope. Hopefully this was fun. I'll work on the Enduring Legacy next, but yeah, I'm surprised. This is pretty good, at least for the content now in the game. Besides the void erosion, this gun is very powerful.